Hey, so picture this, I'm just a 17-year-old kid, Jaden Carter, dribbling my basketball down a quiet street in Pinewood Hills, headphones blasting some J. Cole, sweat still clinging to my skin from practice. The sun's dipping low, painting everything this warm, golden orange, and I'm thinking about how coach said I might start in Friday's game. You know, a big deal for a junior. Then, out of nowhere, I see these red and blue lights flashing behind me, and my stomach drops not because I did anything wrong, but because my dad, the state's top prosecutor, drilled it into me since I was a kid. Jaden, keep your hands visible, stay calm. Don't give him a reason. I'm walking home, same route I've taken 100 times through this fancy neighborhood, big houses, manicured lawns, the kind of place where folks clutch their purses when they see a black kid like me, even though I live here. The cruiser pulls up, real slow, like they're sizing me up, and I turn down my music, keep my pace steady, heart pounding. Two cops step out, Officer Hayes, all bulk and swagger, hand on his holster like he's in some action flick, and Officer Reed, this lean guy with a smirk that says he's already made up his mind about me. What you doing here, kid? Hayes barks, like I'm some thief casing the joint. I keep it cool, tell him I live on Cedar Lane, just 3 blocks away, coming from basketball practice. Reed scoffs, no ID? Convenient. I explain I left my wallet at home, didn't think I'd need it to walk home from the gym. They exchange this look, like I'm feeding them some BS, and I feel this cold dread creeping in, because I know that look, it's the one that says they don't believe I belong here. Things go south fast. Hayes grabs my gym bag, starts tossing my stuff on the sidewalk, my jersey, my math book, like it's trash. Please, man, that's my stuff. I say, trying to keep my voice steady, but Reed steps in close, too close, and sneers. You live in Cedar Lane? Those are million-dollar homes, kid. What's your dad do, clean him? I bite my tongue, tell him my dad works for the state, keeping it vague, because sometimes the truth makes things worse. Hayes laughs, this ugly, mocking sound, and says, state government, huh? Janitor. I'm trying so hard to stay calm, but it's like they're itching for a fight. Then Reed gets in my face, demands I empty my pockets. I pull out my phone, keys, some change, nothing suspicious, but he snatches my phone, sees the lock screen, me and my dad at a charity event, and mutters, fancy phone. Who'd you steal it from? That's when I snap, just a little, and say, it's mine, my dad got it for me. Big mistake. Next thing I know, Reed's got my arm twisted behind my back, slamming me against the cruiser, cuffs biting into my wrists. I'm still trying to explain, my dad's James Carter, the Attorney General, but Hayes cuts me off. You think that's funny? Lying about your daddy. Before I can say another word, Reed's fist slams into my cheek, pain exploding like a firecracker, my head snapping back. I stumble, vision blurring, but they don't stop, they tackle me to the ground. Hayes's knee digging into my back, Reed yelling, stop resisting. Even though I'm not. I'm just trying to breathe, face pressed into the concrete, blood dripping from where my cheek split open. A lady walking her dog across the street stares, and I call out, please, call James Carter. But Hayes shoves me into the cruiser, slams the door, and tells her something that makes her walk away. At the station, it's a blur of bright lights and cold metal. They process me like I'm some criminal, snapping mugshots of my swollen face, tossing around charges like trespassing and assaulting an officer, lies, all of it. The desk sergeant, this older guy, looks at me funny when I repeat my dad's name, like he's starting to wonder, but Hayes and Reed just laugh it off. This kid thinks he's somebody. I'm sitting in this tiny interrogation room, cuffed to a table, pain throbbing in my face, thinking about my dad waiting at home, dinner getting cold, probably calling my phone that's still in Reed's pocket. Then, I hear it, those familiar, heavy footsteps, like a storm rolling in. My dad, James Carter, bursts into the room, all 6 feet 4 inches of him in this sharp suit, eyes blazing but voice calm as ice. Which one of you touched my son? He asks, and Hayes and Reed freeze, their tough guy act crumbling like cheap drywall. The shift is instant. Dad demands my release, their badges, their guns, and a full investigation. The sergeant's already on the phone with the chief, and I see the panic in Reed's eyes when Dad mentions body cam footage. They uncuff me, and Dad takes me to the hospital, where the doctor patches me up, documenting every bruise, every cut. Back home, It's like a war room. My mom, a judge, is on the phone with the governor. My dad's calling his lawyer friend, Mike Alvarez, who's ready to tear the department apart. I'm sitting there, ice pack on my face, realizing this isn't just about me anymore. It's about every kid who's been stopped, roughed up, ignored because they don't have a dad like mine. The next day, we're at police headquarters, and I face Hayes and Reed again. Hayes tries to play it cool, stammering about procedure, but Dad's not having it. "You assaulted a handcuffed minor," he says, voice like a blade. I look Reed dead in the eye and ask, if I wasn't the Attorney General's son, what would have happened? Probation? Jail? For walking home? He doesn't answer, but his silence says it all. By noon, we're at a press conference, cameras flashing, my bruised face on every screen. I step up, heart racing, and say, "This happens to kids like me every day. I'm only here because of who my dad is. But what about the others?" The room goes quiet, and I know I've hit a nerve. Weeks later, I'm back on the court, sinking a free throw in a packed gym, my dad in the stands, his proud smile mixed with something heavier. Hayes and Reed are fired, charged, and the department's under review. Body cams for all, a civilian board coming. I'm set to testify at public hearings with other kids who've been through this, kids who didn't have my dad to save them. It's not over, not by a long shot, but standing there, ball in hand, I feel it. I'm not just Jaden Carter anymore. I'm part of something bigger, fighting for kids who look like me, who walk home like I did, who deserve better. So what do you think? Was this just bad cops, or is it the system? Drop a comment. Share your take. Have you seen this kind of thing where you live? Let's talk about what justice really looks like.